Okay, now we're going to go on to some advanced sections. This is not necessarily connected directly with AdWords, but these are two tools or two advanced tools that you're going to want to get familiar with and can be easily installed. Just a line of code or two within your website to make sure that you're capturing some of the data that's coming off of the search engines, well, especially Google here. But the creation of these links into these tools, very simple to do. Any web developer or anybody who knows HTML can add these codes in. We're not going to get into specifically how to add the codes because that could be another section of how to do specific pieces of this. But you can ask someone who has basic HTML knowledge to help you out with this if you don't know how to read through the instructions through the Google, any of the Google interfaces that show you how to add these simple lines of code into your website. But what I want to do is go through Analytics and Webmaster Tools, which are the two tools we use from an agency perspective to check out what's going on in a specific site. From a natural standpoint, from an organic SEO standpoint, it pulls in some data that we can use into our AdWords campaigns to give us some further information on what people are looking for, what Google sees us as important for. And let's go into analytics. So we just type in analytics and this will pull up. If you're logged in, it will log you in automatically to Google. Once you get into AdWords, a lot of the, if you're using Chrome especially, a lot of the stuff is going to be hooked up immediately. But right now, let's just sign in. Let's go to, I'll go to our own account here and we'll log in and look. Now again, if this is your own account, you'll just have one tab to log into. Since we manage a lot of accounts, you'll see a lot of activity from the other sites we're supporting. But right now, we can see that we have, just around a month's worth of activity here. How many visits, how many unique visitors. Again, one of the things that I look at is page visits, average duration. Of course, if you have an e-commerce site or a site with a lot of products, you're going to see a lot more pages. But since we're a very specific service company, we don't have as many. Most people want to get the phone number or go through one specific page that they're looking for. But what I like to do in here is I like to look if there's any anomalies. We don't like to see super high bounce rate. We expect a bounce rate. The bounce rate means that they're coming to one page and then they're just leaving. We expect bounce rates a lot of the time. I don't like to see above 70%. That means there's a problem. But what I like to see is lots of new visits. That means people are getting there for the first time. And I like to see a lot of page views, and with those page views tie into people who are interested. And then we can take those terms and look at them as potential keywords that we can use in our campaign. So if we haven't already engaged with them. So if we look at traffic sources and we look at sources, we go to search. I go to organic. Now we're going to see, where, and of course, we're looking at the organic traffic here to get some ideas of stuff that we may have missed. And again, as I said, you can look at pages per visit and see some high ends here, and we can see some of the traffic where we're seeing some high page visits of people who are really interested in us are spending some time here. But the other thing is average duration. Again, we can see that there's some information here. Internet marketing companies in New Jersey, whatever. It's they're spending more than a couple minutes on site. Great. One of the things that Google will not provide in this, as you can see here, is not provided, and that's typically a lot of the traffic that we can't necessarily see because Google's not going to review or not reveal everything. And I think not necessarily on purpose, but in part because there's a lot of traffic coming to the site from different places. People also have, they may have some ability to block, the traffic from a standpoint of giving away that information, on purpose within their browser constraints. But what I also like to do here, again, when I went back here to the organic traffic, and you can open up these columns to see all your keywords that are being hit, is I like to see if there's anything in here that I don't necessarily wouldn't have picked up in my AdWords campaign. Just even though these are not recommendations for online marketing, even using recommendations, I would have never thought about that. So you're seeing some stuff that in here where there's a lot of information that you can pull out of here where you say, oh, I didn't think about that, I should use that. And sometimes I use this also for building my AdWords campaign, the actual text. So if I see stuff in here that's anomalies, that really makes a lot of sense. And for some reason, even here, when I see coffee group 800 number, I have an 800 number, but I've never put it prominent. But apparently, I get a lot of visits for that. So let's go back to just looking at the visitor flow. So one of the things I like to look at, and what you might want to look at as well, is looking at the starting page is obviously where they came in, and then where do they go after that. So if you have a landing pages set up, you can also track where they go from their landing pages. And this allows you to see where they went. So we see a lot of people are going to the team. And what's interesting here is that once they get to the team, then they're going into specific other pages. But reality is that I should consider highlighting that team page a lot more and dress it to the nines, because that seems where most people are heading for their first link. And you'll find a lot of things in here which will give you an idea of what type of traffic, where they're going. What's interesting is that you'll always pick up something from this, especially as you start to develop an understanding of where your traffic is coming from, who the demographics are, who the person is that's clicking on your site, and the behavior. So again, we could spend hours and go as deep as a deep blue sea on analytics, but just the basics are checking out your keywords, checking out anomalies, and leveraging that for your AdWords campaign, and then looking at your what I call the visitor flow, and finding out where there are things where you may want to take advantage of building a better strategy from a website perspective. One of the other tools that's critical, and again, this is simple stuff that any webmaster can help you with, or any website developer can help you with, is Webmaster Tools. So Webmaster Tools allows us to really look at a deeper perspective within the website. What I like about Webmaster Tools is it kind of gives you the general overview. Again, with the keywords, if you click on search queries, you can see where your average position is organically. And this will give you an idea of how Google thinks what you're important for, or what Google's ranked you for organically. Some of the things that I would now re-engage in looking at when I build my campaign. We can see that there's a campaign development and campaign development process. Now these are two of the things just recently that have popped up that have become important for our company to look at, because the development process with new media is becoming apparently a hot topic, and we're being found for it pretty quickly. So we want to try and highlight this, use this, and leverage these things into our campaigns. Again, you can go and we're looking at a month's worth of traffic here, but I've got a lot of keywords here that I can look through and make sure that I can bank it back to my strategy. So Webmaster Tools, other than that, is really good for just checking the health of your site as well. Looking at if you have some errors on your page, which we have a couple of minor old web pages that we need to get rid of. Looking at your index status, which is how you get ranked by Google, and then your traffic. And I think the key here again is your search queries, which we just went through. Looking at your average position to see where you're ranked, and that will help you understand where Google finds you as important. Again, you can look at your top pages here where people are going to go. where they click the most, and we have a lot of activity here that represents where we're getting clicks from. But again, this is not going to be an overview that's going to be deep. I just want to make sure you understand which tools you can use to leverage in your AdWords campaign.